Woo boy! Alright, I've been wanting to talk about this movie for a while now, and you know what? The day has finally come. We've seen it, we've written out a script, so let's not waste any more time and just get right into Annihilation. Dude, this mic is so annoying sometimes, like I swear. Annihilation came out in 2018 and was written and directed by Alex Garland. The story follows Natalie Portman as Lena, a biology professor and former soldier, as she journeys into the mysterious world known as the Shimmer after her husband returns from a year-long absence on his own mission into the Shimmer himself. The Shimmer itself, it's kind of a hard thing to describe. It first appeared 3 years ago when a comet struck a lighthouse on the Florida coast, and now can be described as this shimmering, translucent, fluorescently colored like wall that's constantly growing and swallowing up more land, and now threatens to swallow up the entire continent, potentially the world, if the source of it can't be stopped. And over the course of those 3 years, dozens of teams have been sent in, mostly military, and nothing's ever come back, except for now, in the form of Kane. Did I mention that's Lena's husband? That's Lena's husband, if I didn't mention that. So now Lena wants to find out what happened to him, what's in there, so she joins a team of other women, fellow scientists, as they go in and try to figure out what exactly is the Shimmer, what's causing it, and how it can potentially be stopped or reversed. So I'll come out right now and say that this is kind of a hard movie to talk about, because I think you should go into it as completely blind, or as blind as you can possibly be. But I'll talk about what I can here now for you without spoiling the ending, and that's because, well, if you've seen the movie, then you know. For the most part, when I talk about Annihilation with other people, I generally get one of two reactions, and that's either A, I liked the movie, but I didn't understand the ending, or B, I didn't like the movie because of the ending. So clearly that's a pretty polarizing way to leave the audience, and in that, I want you to go into it blind, no information, and just make your own opinions on it after you see it, because I think that's the best way to probably do it. Now, to me, the most important aspects of any movie are the pacing, the story, and the acting / dialogue / line delivery. It's kind of all go hand in hand, I figure. So Annihilation is just under 2 hours long, which can be on the lengthier side for some people, but it really didn't feel that way to me. I felt like every scene progressed the story so fluidly that on my second viewing for this review, I checked the time at some point and I realized that I was already over halfway through the whole thing. I thought, damn, I felt fast, but not rushed. You know what I mean? Like everything was progressing very smoothly, very naturally, and I didn't feel like it was dragging. I didn't feel like it was like just going straight through the motions, you know what I'm saying? And the biggest factor in that is because I enjoy the story of this movie so much. Now, I'm a huge sucker for sci-fi and space and cosmic horror elements, and this movie has all that in sprinkles, just enough to give you some flavoring, but not enough to just beat you over the head with it, you know? It's a bit more subdued in that respect, but it does bring up questions and things that kind of make you think about what it means to be human, what potential alien life could be like or could act like, or how we would react to it. Things that, you know, make you question your own existence. That, I love stuff like that. That is my favorite, like thought-provoking shit. But not to the point where it's pretentious, you know, because some things can be very like, oh, look at me, I'm so highbrow, I'm better than you. I don't think this movie does that. I think this movie has a very organic way of presenting those questions. And while it might not explicitly answer them up front, the central theme of self-destruction is super interesting. And I think it's something that you will probably talk about with your friends after the credits, Or at least wonder to yourself if you're watching this at home after the fact, which you are, because it's 2020. Acting-wise, I thought everybody did a really good job here, especially Natalie Portman and Gina Rodriguez as Lena and Anya respectively. The deeper the team goes into the shimmer, the further they go in, closer to the source, the more their sanity begins to fracture, the more their vision starts to distort and their sanity begins to deteriorate. And you see the team slowly kind of break down amongst themselves while trying to keep this sense of purpose, this sense of, no, we're all on the same side here, we need to survive. But it's hard to do that when your mind starts playing tricks on you. Now, aside from those three key factors, the movie looks great. Like, there's a lot of incredible visuals throughout the whole thing that make you stop and just want to pause the frames. Like, this looks incredible. Like, how did they do this, The music is pretty minimal throughout the whole thing. Very organic, very warm, very acoustic guitar, hums, things like that in the beginning of the movie. But the further in you go, the deeper into the shimmer we get, the more they start bringing in these loud, otherworldly, drone-like synths. And it's hard to describe. But it fills you with this feeling of terror and unease and discomfort. And that's because it's so foreign to us. Like, I've never heard anything quite like it before, and hearing it specifically, I should say, hearing that with the visuals is something that's really hard to describe. It's a very surreal feeling and a very uncomfortable feeling in a good way. And that's because it's something that we're not used to, It's something that's very foreign and unlike us and unlike our understanding, and something that we can't fully comprehend. I think other than that, there's not a whole lot I can really say without getting into spoiler territory. And so I apologize if you were hoping for a more in-detail review of Annihilation like I did previously with like The Crazies. But I really do believe that this is a movie that you should go into with minimal knowledge and maybe just watching the trailer once or twice and then just going straight into it, because it's a story that I feel like if you know too much about it, it could potentially ruin, the atmosphere. And that, I think, is super important. So like I said earlier, I absolutely love this movie, and it's a shame that we're probably not going to get a sequel, because this is actually based on a book trilogy called the Southern Reach series, and Annihilation is the first of those three. So, fingers crossed that we'll get a sequel one day, but I honestly don't think we will, and that's too bad. But Annihilation does stand on its own pretty well, I think. It does kind of potentially set up for a sequel, but it doesn't explicitly need one, Kind of like The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2. Did we need a second one? Not really. Are we complaining? Some of us, yeah. But hey, we got more good stuff. What's the problem? But I'm going to go ahead and give Annihilation an A, because it is a great movie, great atmosphere, great music, great story, and I don't know what else I can say about it besides I absolutely adore this movie, and it's one of my favorites. That's all I've got for you today on this one. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to give a like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of these older type reviews for movies because, well, we can't go to the theaters right now, and chances are we've been in quarantine for 4 months now? So you've probably binge watched your favorite TV series 2 or 3 times over. I know I've done that with at least one. So hey, we're all in the same boat here. We need stuff to watch, and I think this is a good way to do it. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, a great night, great evening, whenever. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Love ya. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.